Welcome to How Big Is It? I'm your host, Brook Johnson. Welcome to my show. Today I'm going to be talking about buying big sets. What you need to know when you're ready to drop $100, $200, $1,000 on a big set. And remember last show I talked about how everything had changed about the big set. Well, what's changed? What's changed is that the value of big sets is dropping. That's not happened in the history of Lego. Most of the time the big sets maintain their price, go up, sometimes there's fluctuations, but lately they have been dropping. All right, so let me show you what I'm talking about. So let's take one like the haunted house, recently retired. Look at the graph. It has dropped to $353 new from $430 in the last year. Now I know if you go back further than a year, it was probably almost at $500. The price of this has been dropping. That's just not happened before. All right, let's take a look at another one. Another recent one, Super Star Destroyer. This was my pick as a $1,000 set, as the next $1,000 set since the Green Grocer. But what's happened? I think it did briefly hit $1,000, but take a look at that graph. It's been dropping again. Dropping. It's shocking that it's been dropping. All right, let's go a little bit older, back to the Green Grocer itself. I know my box isn't looking so good. The dog got it. The Green Grocer. This set sort of was one of the two sets that ignited the Lego collecting, investing craze because it went up in value so quickly after it retired. But look at the Green Grocer. Again, dropping in the last year. Now, I picked these sets. These were the first 5 sets that I picked. I didn't go picking sets that were dropping. It's just all of them are dropping. It's just amazing. Let's go older. So here we have the Star Destroyer UCS set from 2002, a really old set. It was long before anyone thought of Lego as this huge collectible that it was going to be worth a lot of money, and it has also been dropping. Now the elephant in the room, of course, is the Lego Millennium Falcon, and take a look at the Lego Millennium Falcon graph. Talk about dropping, losing over 30% of its value since September of last year. So just not even a year, and it's lost 30% of its value. Why don't I have one? I don't, because I'm waiting for it to drop further. In fact, buying this set was one of the worst decisions that I made in my entire collection, because about 2 years ago, I paid $1,200 for it, which wasn't great, it wasn't bad, I thought it was fair. Now, $800, $900 for it. Good thing I didn't buy a Millennium Falcon. Used at the time, might have been $3,000. Now you can get them for less than $2,000. It's been dropping. So why? Why has this been happening? Well, I looked on eBay for the last 10 sales, and I just glanced through just as a brief overview of what's been going on in the sales market. So let me put that up there. There are 3 main reasons why the value of these sets is dropping. Number 1, it could be oversupply, right? People are really got into the investing craze. Maybe there are just way too many of these Super Star Destroyers on the market, not enough people buying. So as you can see, the number of new sets sold, there are lots of new sets in the Star Destroyer, Super Star Destroyer, and the Haunted House. So maybe that's why the price is dropping. Well, another reason, notice the next column I have there, which is the non-Lego versions of these sets. Maybe that could be driving the price down. Look at every single one of these 5 sets has a non-Lego version that has sold. And look at the prices. I put the lowest price available, or the lowest price sold in those last 10. I mean, the prices are way low and people are buying them. That is going to be even a bigger problem in the future when the people who have bought those non-Lego sets pass them on to their kids, go to sell them, and don't remember that it wasn't a Lego, or those bricks start getting into circulation. So it's going to be tricky to buy these sets when all of these non-Lego sets are getting into the market. Straight knockoff clones. And then, of course, the last reason why these sets could be dropping is Lego shooting itself in the foot, shooting itself in the leg, shooting itself, is that's reissuing of existing sets. And why is the Millennium Falcon been dropping so much? It's because a new Millennium Falcon is coming out. It is absolutely crushing the market. And why is that so important? Well, as a collector, you want to know that the money you've put into your collection is still there, that if you go to sell it, hopefully your collection is going up in value. Maybe it's not, but at least it's maintaining its value, because the value of your set is important. It's part of the collecting. It's part of the collecting fun. Finding a good deal, watching it go up. Maybe it's not as important as when you were a kid and you'd wait for your Beckett Monthly to come and then you'd pour through like I did so I could see the value of my 80s and my 90s baseball cards, what was going up. It was very exciting. I kept spreadsheets. It was very crazy, right? To see how my collection was doing, how those good baseball players were doing. As an adult, not quite as important, but still, as a collector, you don't want your sets to be dropping. As an investor, well, as an investor, you want long-term price stability because you don't want to be rushed to sell something. If you buy something and you let it sit, hopefully it will at least maintain its value. If you have nerves of steel and you had 4 Millennium Falcons sitting on your bed hoping to pay for your kid's first semester of college, and now it can only pay for his first week or his first day because the value has been dropping, that is bad for the investor. That is not what you want to see from a collecting standpoint. From an investing standpoint, dropping prices is bad for everyone. Now, as a collector, one of the things that I always knew as a truth was that I could buy a set at retail, I could build it, enjoy it, take it apart, put it back in the box. A few years later, after it retired, I was guaranteed that if I didn't want it anymore, I could sell it used and get my money back for what I paid for it new. Well, let's take a look at what's happened with the pet shop. Let's say I bought this pet shop new for $150. I built it, I put it away, it's been retired about a year. Well, look what it's done. New now is $170, used is $130. If I were to sell this set used, hoping to get back $150 for it, I'd have to sell it for $200 used. I don't think the set is ever going to get to $200 used, at least in the next 5 years. That has never happened before with a big Lego set. The value, even if it hasn't gone way up, just is not going up like it used to. So what are you going to do if you want to buy a big Lego set? Well, before you had to worry to buy it before it retired because the price would go way up. Now, it doesn't matter. You buy it when you want to. You can buy it when it's on sale, like this set was. You had to wait till just before it retired. You could get this set for $120. That was the time to buy. You wait as long as possible to buy your set for $120 because often at the end of its life, the big sets will go on sale. That never happened before either. So let's say it never goes on sale and you miss your opportunity and it retires. Well, you buy it used for $130. It's still cheaper than paying retail for it. So there's no reason to rush to buy any big set anymore because once it retires, you're still going to be able to buy it. It just doesn't matter. Let's take a look at another one here. Because what if your set retires and the price jumps way up? This retired and then within 2 months, the price had gone from $280 up to $500 for this set. Huge spike. We're thinking, hey, the good days are back. So if you panic and buy it because you don't want it to go up any higher, well, look what's happened. It has dropped and dropped and dropped and dropped. There's that little spike and then it's just faded off. So what did I just tell you about the pet shop? If you wait, you can buy it for less than retail used. It's just there's no incentive to buy these sets anymore because you can just get them whenever you want to and the price keeps going down. It's just going to be stable. So what is wrong with the big set? What's wrong with the big set is that there's no price appreciation. There's so much supply. There's the fear of sets being reissued. There's the knockoffs. The knockoffs are going to be a huge issue, but the sets being reissued is a huge issue too. That for the collector, for the investor, they're just not a good deal anymore. Now, of course, remember my shows How Big Is It? I still buy these sets, and I will often try and buy 3 copies of each one. And what do I do with those copies? I'm often not selling them. I just keep them for trade. So it's good to have big sets to trade with people because I like to trade. So that's often what I do with my big sets now. Instead of selling them, is I trade them. And that works really well for me. So that is what's wrong with the big set. That's why you have to be careful about the big set. That's why you have to be careful about the new Millennium Falcon in its huge box that's hard to store, in its huge box that's expensive, putting away all that money, $800 for who knows how long, when probably when it retires, you can buy one used for less than $800, even after it has retired. So that is what's wrong with the big set. That's why you have to be careful about the big set. So I have a challenge for you. If you want to look through all the big sets on BrickPicker, go through all that data, find me one that is going up in value still. I didn't find any. I would be really curious if someone was able to find one. And let's analyze, why is that set going up? Well, all the others aren't. So go ahead and find one. Leave me a message in the comments if you found one. They'll be cool. I'll go over it. Until next time, Lego on.